hopefully we get some audio.
Gonna tell us about his life and what all he's done. And we're excited because I found my Guatemala shawl to introduce Veronica. So if you'll see in Veronica from Guatemala. And we have Jody from Mountain Foothills who's gonna talk for a minute. Minty brought her significant others with Chris and Leeks. So thank you so much.
It only took me a year to get them to a meeting. Okay.
We're gonna read.
Yeah, great.
Too far.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, you want it or is that?
Okay, there we go. Our inspiration today comes from Arthur Ashe. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Am I doing it or are you? Okay, okay. Couple announcements this morning. Rodeo Parade is tomorrow. Decorating the float immediately after this at David's house. So I know they would love as many extra hands as they can get. It's a lot of fun to decorate. And then we have opportunity for you all to walk or ride in the parade tomorrow. And we would love to have somebody, I know Jen and Erica and Jamie Meyer, last I saw, they were the only 3 signed up. So it's gonna
Bob Wallace has signed up.
Bob Wallace is signed up. It's gonna be a pretty sad float if we can't get some extra bodies. So we would love to have you involved. Change. Excuse me, changing of the guard officially is on June 25th. Nope, 26th. I was so sure I got it right this time. I'm sorry, June 26th. Katie has sent out a sign up genius and it'll be in the announcements again today. So please sign up. District conference, save the date, details will be coming soon. It is on October 11th. Fantastic event. We would love to have a couple more people on the planning committee. So if you have any interest, it's actually a fun group of people. We're meeting by Zoom, so you don't have to go anywhere for meetings. So if you're interested, please let me know. District has asked us to let everyone know about the online business directory again. If you are still working, have a business, have a side hustle, have anything like that, please list it in the online business directory so other Rotarians know how to find you and can do business with you. All right, general announcements. If you have one, please come up. I am going to ask everybody to keep it brief today. We have a lot on our program, so if you can keep it brief, I'd appreciate it.
Good morning. This morning, I am Rotary Wildfire Ready. As you all know, we're in the middle of our season where we go to festivals and share our wonderful knowledge about how to prepare for wildfire. And I need your help. I need more people from the Evergreen Club to be part of our organization. Right now, we have Gary McKay, Lauren Kaufman, myself, can't see with my glasses on, who are involved from the club. We've got a lot of people from outside of our club who have participated and are very involved. So I would really love for you guys to come out, have fun with us, and be a part of some of these events that we go to. They're fun. First one that we're doing right now is actually Evergreen Rotary, Conifer Rotary's Conifer Fest. which is on the 12th of July. And it's a music fest there. And we are planning to have the truck there from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But I think their event goes to 8 p.m. So if you come, you can do your thing, go be part of that event. It's at Lady of the Pine Church. I've sent out a sign up genius. I'm not sure that it's getting to everyone, but I hope so. If you haven't gotten one and you're interested, I'm gonna send the links and everything to Jen. She'll get it out to you. The second one is Elevation Celebration. It's Conifer's big community event where they have lots of food and they have lots of crafts and things there, food, music. And we will be there both Saturday and Sunday, July 26th and 27th. It's held on that Sutton Road right behind the in like Aspen Park kind of business district area. And those are only a couple hours long. And you can go and then be part of the festival. And if you don't feel comfortable about being an educator on this information, contact me if you're still interested. We would love to train you and get you up to speed on how to talk to people at these events, on how they can prepare for wildfire. And then we have our monthly meeting is next Tuesday. We'd love for you to come and see what we do, be part of the group. I'll send out that in the minutes. And then the last thing is that the Conifer Rotary Club has got a mitigation project they would love for us to participate in. And I've got the information on how you can contact them. It's this weekend, which I know it's really hard. I told her that we were already pretty much involved with the parade and whatnot. But if anyone's interested in being a person on the road directing traffic, or is interested in picking up branches and stuff like that after they cut down trees, I have that information. So be prepared for wildfire and come have fun with us.
Is this on to you? Okay. Mount Airy Land Trust was here last Friday. And there was interest in going on a hike with them. They are very busy people, very popular in the summer. That's when the hiking happens. So there's one date. I know, and that's hard, but it's on your table, July 22. And there's a sign up sheet there. I'll get out a sign up genius. I know there's a lot of hikers in this room. And there's a couple of options, like longer hike or shorter, that's explained in the details there. I hope you will sign up, support our wonderful land trust. I've lived here over 30 years. In my opinion, they're one of the best run nonprofits in the foothills. So let's get out there, have some fun, a day in the sun with them all. Thank you.
Good morning and happy early Father's Day to all the dads in the room. Just want to give a really quick announcement because I think it's really awesome, but I just spoke with the Member of Parliament for the Ugandan Parliament last night and the Director of Education for the Chirua District in Uganda. And the P6 class is doubled in size now because of the train that you guys help sponsor and get in there. The fact that the kids feel safe to come there and use clean facilities has really helped this community. And so I just wanted to relay this to you because it's pretty cool to see this implications in real time. And, it was just really great to hear what's happening there. So thank you very much for all your support and private support from like Bruce, Michelle, and of course the IEC. So looking forward to moving on from here, and I couldn't have done this without you guys, and just appreciate you.
That's a tough one to follow because I don't get applause after I talk. Anyway, I'm Gary Irvin. Good morning, everybody. I know you get a lot of save the date kind of messages, but please save the date, August 23rd. It'll be the fourth annual Christian Irvin, my son's memorial scholarship pickleball event at Mount Vernon Country Club. It's an all-day affair. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, goes till about 4. There's pickleball for beginners, intermediate, and advanced members. We've got food, we've got drinks, we've got a band, it's called the Rum Runners. They play pretty much all day and they're really good at this steel drum band. So we supply pretty much everything. Come to play, come to just watch and be part of the group, as some people here have already done in the past. We've had a lot of support from this group, so I appreciate that. We've raised probably over $150,000 so far, last couple of years, and so far we've given out $26,500 in scholarships. It goes to CU Boulder Alpha Eta, chapter of Theta Xi, which is the fraternity our son was in. He was a leader there, and it's a balanced scholarship, which stands for brotherhood, academics, leadership, something, nobility, something, and extreme sports. So that's where it goes to. So I appreciate it. I just can only hope that one of the 14 people that we've given a scholarship to so far figures out a way to cure cancer or somehow get world peace going. So there you go. Anyway, thank you. Sorry, August 23rd. I only brought a couple of these. There's one on every table, so I apologize for that. And more details will be coming out later to sign up and stuff like that. So you'll hear from me again, but.
It's a blast, great cause.
Thank you, Jay.
Good morning, I'm Janie Myers. Mindy mentioned to you that we do have a float in the parade tomorrow. And she also told you, I think we have 4 people who have volunteered to help. And if anyone's good at math, could you tell me what percentage of our club membership that is? Exactly. So I just hope I think we want to have a better presence in the parade and in Evergreen. So I really would appreciate it if you could join us at 9:30 in the morning. I'm also not sure what the hesitation is. So I thought this morning I would give you a couple lessons in terms of what it takes to be in the parade, whether you're walking or riding. And Jen, you're going to help me with that. Jen's been practicing all week long to get this down. So let everyone raise an arm and follow Jen's lead.
Hey, we're gonna go, right?
There wasn't a one of you that couldn't do that. So I will look tomorrow for a great turnout. Thank you.
So, my question to you, I know where you're gonna be at 9:30, you're gonna be over at the parade, and that's where you should be. Well, but what are you doing at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning? What are you gonna be doing then? Would you like a little bit? You may be sleeping in, I don't know, but here's another option for you. If you'd like a little inspiration, a little hope for the future, there's gonna be a link in the notes that you get later today. You can join a Zoom call for the Peace Education and Action for Impact program. This club is already sponsored youth teams, young adult teams in Ghana and Serbia. And we're looking forward to this next project coming up. And this is an information system. You'll hear powerful stories of youth that have done great peace building work around the world. Come for that and then go to the parade.
Hi, I'm Jody Kirkpatrick from Mountain Foothills. I'm going to take 60 seconds. Our golf tournament is coming up on July 14th. The annual Andy Smith Senior Memorial Tournament. They are our title sponsor. I have a box of small posters and these flyers, which include a QR code. 4 ways to support. Spread the word. Everybody, please grab these. I'd love this box to be empty when I pick it up after the meeting. You can golf. You can sponsor. You can join our silent auction, which is online via the website. Very tiny golf memorabilia. You want a badge, one day badge pass for the Masters? It's in there. There's only 8 things, or just spread the word. So thank you for having me. I'm going to start passing this box. I hope it's not distracting, but please empty it for me. Thank you. Take anything you want.
Hi, I'm Patrice. I'm just reminding everybody that Mindy is coming to the Center of Love Foundation service trip at the end of July. She leaves on July 17th, I believe, and we're gonna have a big packing party. If you still want to support her and our organization and the 400 to 600 children that we feed on a weekly basis and on holidays, please reach out. I think we'll have it in the follow-up notes again today with the Amazon link that, of course, Mindy made it so easy. But if people have cold hard cash, I'll take that today. And our lovely Marcia actually has the paperwork still, so you can take a photo of it from her, because I know she wants this back. And she's already given some first aid things, so, and if you don't know what to give, we can always use children's underwear. Oftentimes, a little toddler will be brought in by their 5 or 6-year-old sibling on their back with no panties on. So thank you so much for your support, and Carrie Kenya, Mindy.
Good morning,
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave.
David Cheesley. There is a, float for the parade in my backyard. We're intending to go and decorate it right after the meeting. And for those who don't know, my address is 28204 Meadow Drive. 28204 Meadow Drive. Thank you.
Ted.
I'd like to introduce Juana Veronica Seguat. She's from Guatemala, and she'll tell us a little bit about this. Okay, this is Juana Veronica Seguat. She's from Guatemala. She's one of the products of our education program. She's here to raise funds for her program, which is a consequence of all the programs that are created. So she just briefly talked to about herself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Veronica. I come from Guatemala, a country rich in culture and history. So I'm proudly represent a class of program. This program started 30 years ago. Students from Quetzal Fund, we discuss about how we can give back the support that we receive, or how we can continue the empower for education and also for empowerment. So in that moment, Atlas started. Now we are supporting 31 years in different areas in our community. We give scholarship and also reinforcement in math, communication and language course. Also, we have mentorship where we give different topics about empowerment and also leadership. So we believe in Atlas because we are identified ourselves with these skills, because now most of us as a Quetzal Fund students, we are professional, we lead their different space in our community and also in our job. So we would like to work together, believe in each other, to empower each other, to work each other. So because together we can make, we can create a world where every single indigenous kid can shine, can have the chance to shine. So thank you so much, and we would like to invite you today at 10:30. We are going to have an activity in Jim's house. So if you would like to learn more information about our program, and also we would like to invite you on February in Guatemala. Thank you so much.
All right, Steve is now up.
And could I have Mindy and Erica join me in this extravaganza? I want to first want to thank both of them for agreeing to transfer. It was Mindy's idea, but Gail told me that the infrastructure at her ranch to show video during the sunlight was going to be practically impossible. So Mindy said, I have an idea. How about you show the video at next Friday's event? And I said, fantastic. But I just wanted you to know, as we honor these two ladies, we have an outgoing president and an incoming president. And this was the changing of the guard video. And I don't think there are two greater representatives of our theme, which is service above self, than Erica and Mindy, because what they do is they care about the community. They care about others. They extend themselves. And as an example, let's first talk about our outgoing president, because Mindy Hansen is a whirling dervish of activity. She's not only the president of a Rotary, she has a marketing company. She raises chickens and bees. She hikes, she travels. She has this huge garden which services not only her family, but serves the community in her neighborhood. And they're going to Africa soon. So I don't know where she gets all of this energy. And I asked her one time, I said, Mindy, you're constantly going. We only get 24 hours at a day. And she said, Fizz, everything is about time management and discipline. And if you're disciplined with your time and manage your time well, you'll be able to get it all in. And I said, that's impossible. With all your responsibilities, you can't get it all in. And she said, well, I'll give you an example. I wrote a poem about time management and discipline, and I have it right here. The poem is entitled, Don't Procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. Don't leave things half finished. And that's all the time that Mindy has had like so busy with Rotary and getting involved with the community and serving her neighbors. But you might be wondering why I have this picture of Michael Jordan and Spike Lee behind me. Because what Mindy has done for our community and for Rotary in the past year is absolutely incredible with so much on her plate. And this commercial was 30 years ago. And at the time, Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player and most popular person in the 1980s. And so popular that Nike did a commercial with Spike Lee. And Spike Lee played the part of Mars Blackman. And Mars Blackman would say to Michael Jordan, go ahead and run the videotape. He would say, Michael Jordan, you are the greatest basketball player of all time in the universe. What makes you so great? And he first said, is it because you jump so high? Is it because you can dunk so much? Is it because you have this fabulous haircut? Oh, I got to stop it. Are you good? You stopped it?
Yeah, I'll stop right now.
And so Michael Jordan said, no, Mars. And then he would say, is it because you are a fantastic leaper and can dunk? And he said, no, Mars. And then he said, it's got to be the shoes. And it was about Nike shoes. And Michael Jordan, of course, said, no, Mars. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of shift that a little bit and talk about Mindy Hansen and put it in the perspective of what took place 30 years ago. So Mindy, I want you to play the part of Michael Jordan, and I will play the part of Mars Blackman's cousin, Fizz Blackman. Yeah. So here we go. Mindy Hansen, you are the greatest president in the universe. What makes you so great? Is it the beautiful, dazzling, curly hair you have?
No, Fizz.
Is it that incredible smile you have?
No, Fizz.
Mindy Hansen, then it's got to be the shoes. I mean, look at these shoes.
It's the no, Fizz.
All right. I disagree with her, and I want to show you why. Because if you take a look at all that she's done, and I really think that every single time she comes to our Rotary meetings, she has a different style of shoes. I mean, look at this. She's got blue shoes. She's got purple shoes. She's got shoes with flowers on them, more flowers. She has shoes with purple and the white lacing. She has sparkling shoes. And she has shoes that go up to her knees. She has shoes they found in the garbage. And we'll stop it right now, Russell. Just for a second. How do we stop it, Russell? Oh, there we go. I stopped it.
Gotta be the Fizz. Gotta be the Fizz.
Okay.
You just tell me when to press play. I stand here looking for it.
Well, we did that, but as many of us know, Mindy came from a very humble background. Russell, you can play it and make it go. She barely had enough for shoes. This was the family RV she lived in growing up. But despite the abject poverty, Mindy was a happy child, raised in Littleton with a history of Rotary in her genealogy. Her grandfather was president of Kalamazoo, Michigan Rotary. Her father was president of South Denver Rotary, and Mindy followed in their footsteps. She would eventually marry Chris and begin a beautiful family in Evergreen. Son Reese is brilliant. He's at the University of Colorado, majoring in aerospace engineering and astrophysics. Where he got the sparks, Mindy and Chris don't know. As Einstein said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want your children to be really, really smart, read them more fairy tales. So Mindy doubled down by hanging out with fairy tale characters, and here they are. And now her time as president of Evergreen Rotary comes to an end, and Mindy can finally kick back and relax in the mountains she so loves and maybe finish that poem. So how about a big hand for Mindy? That's
Leave it there.
and time now, okay, to pass the baton. This is the formal hand over the responsibility to the new guard taking over for the old. We direct our attention now to Erica Sprinkle.
Uh-oh.
Yes, indeed. And Erica sent me these pictures. And much like Mindy, Erica was fashionably challenged from an early age. Was raised in Greenville, Ohio. Her parents' greatest dilemma was teaching young Erica how to smile. Really? That's a smile? That's a smile? Come on, Erica. We have one more, still can't smile. Erica dedicated herself to academics, got her undergrad at the University of Cincinnati and her MBA in health administration from the University of Colorado. Erica struggled starting her career, first as a soda jerk, which led to a drinking problem. Her wooden shoe store bombed, although she did sell a pair to Mindy. Erica tanked as an aquarium valet, but that did lead to an above water job as a paddleboard yoga instructor. Her K9 Dance Academy also failed, but she did meet wonderful friends along the way, including this guy who lied to her about being part of the McDonald's fortune, which led to Eric being hunted down by the law. But despite those hardships, Erica survived, still smiling after all these years. Yes, Erica finally learned how to smile. Erica has a great spirit and determined philosophy. Her mantra is, what if it works? She'll try anything outside the box because you never know. What if it works? As an example is Erica's new business, Ramblin' Dough Wood-Fired Pizza Truck, that you can find in the shipping depot parking lot just south of the post office. And from personal experience, it is delicious. Now Erica departs on a new adventure. As president of Evergreen Rotary, Erica and Mindy are cut from the same cloth. They are energetic, caring, dedicated, organized, thoughtful, helpful. They reflect everything about our motto, service above self. I just did some studying on this, but service is a noun, meaning the action of helping or doing work for someone, or as Kimber Perkins would say, work is love in action. Self is also a noun, meaning a person's essential being that distinguishes him or her from others. But I dug a little deeper into the spiritual definition of self. It's said that the ideal self refers to the version of oneself that an individual aspires to be. It can serve as a powerful motivator for growth and development, pushing individuals to strive for positive change. To me, that is the higher self, the capital S self, that we're all in this together, working for a greater good, our true identity. We at Evergreen have two fantastic people in Erica and Mindy who represent everyththing about Rotary. Once again, one final great hand for Erica and Mindy.
Your video is off.
Thank you very much for putting up with me.
Thank you.
You sent me the pictures.
I didn't realize all the pictures I sent you. I'm really looking forward to the next year, so thank you, and I'm sure changing the guard will say a little more, but I have big shoes to fill, and I appreciate all the support Mindy's given me to get up to this point, so thank you. Thank you, Tiz. That was a lot of fun, so thank you very much for doing that, and for being flexible in when we did it, and thank you everyone for being here for it today. Ginny, you're up.
Well, good morning. Way back in January or February, we were contacted by this gentleman, Jeff Mulvey, who is a Rotarian from Taro. Thank you. And he had heard about our club and he said, that sounds like a club at altitude with attitude. So last night he climbed the canyon. He came up from Albuquerque, I-25, climbed the canyon, rolled in last night around Little Bear. He won't tell me where he slept, but lo and behold, he showed up here. And he's going to tell all of us how he's been on a 2-year ride. Yes, as a chemo rider. And we're really looking forward to your outrageous trip. That must weigh 110.
A little bit less, about 90 probably. I don't weigh it very often. I don't want to know.
How many here have bicycled more than around your block? Oh, all right. Okay, you will really identify with Jeff's endeavor. Good morning.
Thanks. Thank you, guys. I've pedaled 13,586 miles so far. I've spent hundreds of nights in my little green tent. I've changed dozens and dozens and dozens of flat tires. I actually have a flat tire right now. I've got to fix it until I can pay it. And I've even ruined 3 whole bikes. This is number 4 for me. It's been an eventful couple years, but I'm not stopping anytime soon because all of that is really nothing compared to the 10 or 20 miles, or up here, maybe a little closer to 50, that stand in between far too many people and the cancer treatments that could save their lives. All the research, all the technology in the world doesn't do a lick of good if somebody can't get to the appointment. And our transportation system works pretty well for most of us most of the time, but some people get left behind. And that's the truth, is that some people get left behind. And that's especially true when they're being battered by the cost and intensity and duration of a fight with cancer. And for cancer treatments to work best, they have to happen on a very regimented schedule, as I'm sure you know. And so I think that making sure everybody has a way to stay on schedule would be very fair to all concerned. When you connect a grateful person with a generous person, that's a really good way to build a friendship, right? And most people think of service as a sacrifice, but as has already been discussed much here today, we Rotarians know better, right? Humans are hardwired to help each other. So anytime that you can help somebody get the treatment they need, that's going to be very beneficial to all concerned. Of course, I'm pandering quite a bit here, connecting it all to the 4-way test. But I could say the same thing with much more general language and say a country with 335 million people, they're going to face a very diverse set of obstacles, and that it would be equitable to help them overcome those challenges so that all could be included in our nation's success. And, you know, now maybe there's a little tension in the room because some of those words have become very political lately. And maybe I spend too much time looking at my thesaurus. But, whoops, there we go. I see diversity, equity, and inclusion as the core that runs through the four-way test. I won't go any further with any of that, except to say that these are the values that brought me into Rotary. And they're the values that inspired this journey. And they're the values that are going to carry me forward. And I couldn't help but notice that even in this small four-way test, they took a few words to duplicate and emphasize one particular phrase. Now, the American Cancer Society obviously has similar values, trying to help everybody get the care that they need. So they started this program called Road to Recovery 40 some years ago to help overcome transportation barriers. It's a fantastic program. Works a lot like a slow version of Uber, except that all the drivers are volunteers. The rides are totally free, and the goal is to save some lives. I'm here because since the pandemic, it's been way short on drivers. Pretty much everywhere I go, like half of the rides requested have to be turned down because we just don't have enough people to cover the need. I'm an optimist, so I think we can fix that. And as I'm sure you all know, we have a very magical theme this year for a couple more weeks. But I've been on the road for a while, so I'm still busy creating hope in the world. If you've ever been to an ACS event, you know that word hope is the very center of everything we do. We're always hoping that the next batch of research will be a big step forward, of course. But we're also hoping that a biopsy comes back negative, that people go get screened in time, that insurance companies are going to cover the doctor's treatment plan, that employers are going to be understanding of all the time somebody's going to need to take off. My friend Katie had cancer 3 times over the course of 7 years. And just, chemo, radiation, surgeries, all of it over and over and over again. She got through each day with the hope that she could see her daughter graduate. Devin represented her junior class at homecoming last year, but we lost Katie in August. We do everything in our power, and then we hope. My family was fortunate. My dad's colon cancer was caught early, and the surgery went so smoothly that I totally took it for granted. It wasn't until many years later I got to know a woman, and she was telling me about her husband's cancer journey. He was diagnosed with colon cancer, stage 4, at the age of 35. And she described at one time, about a year and a half into their treatment, that they're at the doctor's office getting the latest lab results, scans, and talking about what comes next. And she just didn't quite understand where they were at because Billy wasn't doing well. So she took the nurse out in the hallway a little later and said, just level with me, like, what's going on? The nurse took her hands and said, Tressa, nobody's going to tell the father of 2 young kids that it's over, right? Like, they're going to fight tooth and nail every step of the way, but those were not the results we wanted. And 6 months later, he was gone. And this woman who still had diapers in the house had to grapple with the word widow. And all that really opened my eyes to how fortunate my family had been and how easily that story could have been different. And she spoke a lot about how the American Cancer Society had been there for them throughout their toughest moments. And so I started volunteering in little ways back home, and sometimes I get carried away. So I think I know the answer to this already, but is there anybody here over the age of 45? Few of us, maybe? Okay. If you haven't had a colonoscopy recently, you're probably due. So please call your doctor, get your butt checked. If you're over the age of 75, you're probably in the clear, but it's your personal history that matters at that point. So again, just talk to your doctor, see what they say, and then follow through. That follow through is important, gentlemen. Some of us are bad at that. My brothers and I all had ours for the first time over the last few years. And none of us had any symptoms, but we had that family history. So it was important to start a little bit early and to stay on top of it. And they found a cancerous polyp in my younger brother, the big guy on the right. The technology now is amazing. They were able to just zap it right then and there, and his follow-up came back good. But we come from a long line of procrastinators. So it's really easy for me to think about how differently that story could have turned out. Like, this battle isn't just happening in the research labs. We can save so many lives today just by reducing the stigma and talking about butts even when we don't want to, and reducing that procrastination and the logistical hurdles. So when my son Oliver went off to college a couple years ago, I found myself with an empty nest, and a couple people along the way have suggested perhaps a midlife crisis. And so I got on my bike and set off with the hope that I could find some drivers along the way. Here's the bike I left on. Some of you cyclists might already notice that that is not the kind of bike that a sane person would try to cross the country with. Along the way, it's been called a Walmart bike, a bike-shaped object. And one cyclist in Kentucky just kind of looked at me and said, "Oh, that's a bold choice, Jeff." What can I say? It was the bike I had. It was getting cold, so I needed to get going and head south and figure everything else out as I went. Oliver's been watching a bunch of Vikings shows, and so he nicknamed the bike Birger the Swift. He tells me that Birger comes from Old Norse mythology, meaning to help, to serve, and to protect, which sounded very sweet, except the swift part, because I'm not fast. So we settled on Birger the Determined. Well, Birger's no longer with us, obviously. He died in the line of duty outside of Orlando. I had stopped for some groceries, and I was packing things up, and I forgot to hook a bungee cord back in place. It was dangling off to the side. About a half mile down the road, it got caught in the chain and went around a dozen times before I knew what was going on, and ripped the derailleur off. And it wasn't worth fixing a bike of that caliber. So Birger's time of death was December 4th, 2023 at 3:42 p.m. Oliver tells me that his noble spirit lives on in Valhalla. His replacements have gotten progressively better, so I'm feeling pretty good right now, aside from the flat tires. But Birger and several others have given their life for this mission, because I think maybe there's somebody in this room that has time to give a couple rides a month. And that's really all the ask is just a couple rides here and there as it fits your schedule. It's super flexible, some hoops to jump through to get into the program, paperwork and whatnot. But once you're in there, you see what's needed in the area. You see where they're coming from, where they need to go, how long they expect to be there. And when you see a fit, you raise your hand. And maybe you do the whole round trip, maybe you just take them one way and somebody else will get them back home. That's whatever you can offer is hugely impactful. I had the honor a couple of years ago of meeting the coordinator for Jackson County in Michigan. She's a retired rural mail carrier, so no stranger to driving all over the place. She's been holding the program together for her county and 3 surrounding counties by just driving everybody herself. Like, that's amazing. She's a saint, but that's not sustainable, right? She needs help, and so do the drivers out here. So if you think you can help with that, maybe I set up chemowriters.org to encompass my journey, and it's got information on all of this. The program itself is run by the American Cancer Society, so you can always go directly to them. If you know anybody who's experiencing cancer right now, make sure they have that 800 number too, 24/7. Anybody's got questions, they'll do their best to answer, or at least point them in the right direction, because we pretty much have, this isn't a lot, this isn't a good fit for most of us, right? But there's still so much you can do, because we have an awareness problem across the board with this problem. There are plenty of people out there that would love to help in this way. They don't know the need is there, right? There are people going through it right now. They don't know that this resource is available. Doctors in the medical community doesn't always know that the program's back open after the pandemic. So like, anything we can do to get the word out is hugely impactful. And maybe somebody in your life has that flexibility. That's my mama. And I didn't pitch any of this to my family, but she was watching my social media videos and worrying about me. And so after a couple months, she realized that this is something she could do occasionally. So she gave it a try. has not stopped talking about it since. She's found it so rewarding. And she's even recruited 3 of her friends to drive as well. Like that kind of word of mouth is just absolutely priceless. So just think of somebody in your life who might be a good fit. And then, you don't have to twist arms. Just tell them about the crazy bike guy that showed up to Rotary and see if that plants a seed. I know we have some cyclists already. I think that's the record I've seen raise their hand. If you're on Strava or any other social media, look me up. It's always fun to keep track of each other. I've noticed a really interesting thing along the way. Usually when I ask that question, I'll get a lot of like halfway raises, like, yeah, kind of, but just home. There's always that comparison game going on that I'm not a real cyclist. And I always thought that myself. Because I was just a dude riding around town in my Walmart bike with flip-flops on. Like, I never took it very seriously until I started this. I started hearing people talk about cancer the same way, where if if their treatment plan went really smooth, they might hesitate to consider themselves a real cancer survivor. And I just started to realize that all that comparison's hogwash. If you're out there spinning pedals, you're a cyclist. I don't care if you're doing it on the road or in the gym or in your living room, whatever, it's all the same. And if you've ever sat in the doctor's office and heard those words, you have cancer, you know what it's like for your life to flash before your eyes. Even if everything went perfectly after that, that danger was still real and you had to grapple with it. And I've come to realize that all this applies to the volunteer side as well. Like, giving somebody a ride to an appointment is not flashy. It's not going to get you on 6 o'clock news, or if you have those connections, we do need to get it on the news. But most of the time, if it's a little under the radar thing you could do for your neighbors or friends and family. But I'm at, these treatment plans are so regimented, right? And if the person's not able to stay on the plan, then the doctor has to come up with something more reasonable, realistic to stick to. Plan B is never as good as plan A, though. That's why it was plan B in the first place. So anything you can do to keep somebody on plan A is literally going to improve their outcomes and maybe save a life. I met this gentleman when I was in Pensacola, retired lawyer. He's been volunteering for the program, drives a couple times a week. And, he's the first to downplay it. He'll just say, oh, it gives me an excuse to get out and, get some fresh air. And he likes to do his crossword while he's waiting for them at the appointment. But when I met him, he had just given his 503rd ride because he'd been doing it for 10 years. Like, I know in my heart that there are people alive today for no other reason than Buzz Wyndham helped them stay on plan A. Any rides you can give are going to be impactful too. We're in Jefferson County out here, right? Last year, volunteers gave 111 rides, which is amazing. You guys are a little ahead of most places I went. There were another 78 rides that we had to say no to. It's not a huge number, right? It doesn't take a lot of people to address this need, but it does take some. And as you can see, the area overall, we're right around that halfway mark. I think of all the health challenges that are so big, it's hard for any one person to really move the needle on it. And we know that with polio, right? It takes such an organized effort, and the boots on the ground are on the other side of the world. So there's only so much we can do from here. But cancer's right here in the community, right? And sometimes all your neighbor needs is a ride. So one person can really make a difference there. So again, if you think you can help out, chemoriders.org, there's sign up links there, or you can go directly to ACS. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Do we have questions? I'm sure we do.
Yeah.
What's the craziest place you ever spent the night?
Yeah, well, I don't know that there have been too many absolutely crazy. There was one right outside of a postal service distribution thing they had. I was probably on federal land and allegedly may have committed a few serious crimes with that one. Allegedly. For the most part, it's just a matter of finding a quiet piece of grass that I think nobody will notice for a few hours. So yeah, I don't know if there's man, I've had, occasionally there's I hear footsteps in the middle of the night or something like that. And, so those more moments not really connected to the location itself, but I'll have to think of a better answer for that one. There was probably something, but it's not coming to mind.
Jeff, you're more than inspiring, and I love this story because it also invokes the whole concept of know your neighbor and know what's going on. So thank you. My question is, where are you going next? I feel awful. Any one of us in this room would have housed you and fed you last night. And I'm just gonna say, if you need a shower before you go, you're welcome to come to my house or anybody else's. And I'm sure one of the guys in this club could change your tire for you. So I'm just gonna volunteer that. But where are you going next? And could we help you in locating somebody? I'm a fairly good connector to house you and feed you.
Thank you. I got in really late last night, so it worked out to just throw up the tent and crash. And I got a shower this morning at the rec center, lovely facility. So, today I'm gonna head out to at least Idaho Springs, I think, and part of me wants to go all the way to Frisco. But I don't know, that's might be more than I want to bite off today. So that's the direction. Generally heading up towards Seattle and then down the coast, and I think I'm covered on everything. But thank you.
There are bears active right now.
Okay.
Just wanted to let you know that.
Which color are they? Are they the ones that might be able to scare them? Yeah. Yeah, and I saw a sign about mountain lions too. I was like, oh, that's new. I haven't seen one of those yet.
Moose also.
Fish should go downhill.
Yeah.
Down here.
Yes.
Idaho Springs.
Is that down a little bit? Okay.
Another question.
That's, yeah. Here, about 2 hours north of Detroit, in the thumb, if you know the hand. Yeah.
So you mentioned the grocery store, and it made me think, how are you funded? How do you eat?
Yeah, I'm a semi-retired computer nerd, so like there's a laptop in the bag, and I can earn a few bucks when I need to, and this is not a terribly expensive lifestyle. That helps. Yeah.
Any other questions?
How your average day?
As I'm planning from place to place, and this is why I'm kind of torn about the whole Frisco, Idaho Spring. I usually shoot for like 40 or 50 miles. That gives me a reasonable half day, and time to do whatever else I might need to do that day. And what's Frisco's in the 60s, 65s, like I can do that. It's just, but with the up and down, that might be more than I want to bite off. My longest is 123. I try not to do that. That's an awful day. Even with a tailwind, that's an awful day. But it was a lot of relief for the planning when I realized I could cross that century mark when I needed to. I had no idea if I could do it with the weight. But occasionally there's those weather days where like I'm just gonna hide in a coffee shop all day, and then I gotta make up the 40 miles the next day. So occasionally I pull that out, but I try not to.
How do you connect with, or how did you connect with Rotary clubs? How did you find clubs to visit?
Yeah, I went onto the directory and basically pulled all of that. And then it was a matter of, usually Facebook pages are the best way for me to reach out. I don't know if that's the best way for me to do receive, but it was the easiest way to find everybody and reach out. And, then it's just a matter of, lining up the days of the week with where I'm going to be when, and hoping it works out.
And you get free food.
Yeah, exactly. I eat great at meetings. That's wonderful.
What's the ultimate goal, or how you got 13,000 miles in? Do you have a end state or a location or anything?
The goal is to hit as many of the major cities as I can, because part of this is a personal journey, right? And I want to see each of those places. So the plan is to head up to Seattle, then come down the coast. And then after San Diego, I don't know, I'll might continue on into Mexico or something crazy like that, or I might throw the bike away and never ride again. See how I'm feeling a year from now. Not quite, but I think we're under a year now, but it's, yeah, about that.
So how many Rotary clubs have you visited, and what advice would you have to all of us to help, I don't know, build your mission?
I think I haven't looked at the number lately. It's over 120, maybe closing in on 150 clubs. And so lifetime supply of makeup meetings, right? Like I'm good on that. And I gotta say, like getting to visit different clubs and the different way they do things is really cool. So if y'all get a chance when you're on a vacation or whatever, pop into the nearest Rotary meeting. It's a good experience. As far as supporting the mission, I would say, awareness. So, share whatever you can share, social media, have conversations with people, because there is nothing more influential than somebody you know and care about saying, hey, consider this, right? And, and that's what we need. That's what we need. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inspiring us all this morning. As a thank you for your time today, we'll be donating 60 doses of polio vaccine in your name. So
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Is there a good place to set this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, well, with that very busy meeting behind us, thank you all for being here today. Go out and share the magic of Rotary with the community, and remember to be part of the parade if you can this weekend. It's really a fun event, and it'd be great to have a good showing. So have a wonderful week.